get high and sigh and she keeps sinking low. You get high and sigh and she keeps sinking low. You get high and sigh and she keeps sinking low.
You want to elaborate on that? Whose song, you know, a little bit about that song, especially in regards to the alcohol reference?
Yeah, that's why we picked it. I wrote that song probably about 15 years ago with regards, it was about a friend who was struggling and her partner didn't seem to notice because of his own addiction issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a general sad song that I write.
Any tears? She's looking for tears
Damn.
out there.
All right, we'll try to get you one. But yeah, that like I mentioned before, I do have some alcohol references in a lot of my songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mean, it's funny. I've thought a lot since teaching this class, and of course, my love for music. When I hear an alcohol reference in a song, especially if it's a song that I'm into, it just adds another layer of how much I like it because there's this, I relate to it, you know? Yeah, so it's again what we already talked about, why alcohol is mentioned in songs. It's because it's surrounding it.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, now that I think about it, it's just like, it's really a lot more socially acceptable to be walking around wasted than it is to be, you know, like high on heroin or some other drug, like, you know, because it's accessible and it's legal, and especially in places like this where it's a lot of the same demographic because of the university, so it's like, and everybody's doing it kind of thing, so that also makes it easily relatable.
That's actually something I'd like to ask about. So you guys, you both have toured around quite a bit, played in other places that are not college towns. Could you elaborate on the difference between playing in college towns versus playing in a normal town?
I think State College in particular is definitely maybe a little more of a party town, college town than other college towns, for sure. So a lot of other I mean, every place is different, but it seems like, and this isn't a dig really on State College, but it seems like I've found that other college towns we've gone to there's both elements, and I feel like finding your place playing what we do in State College in particular is kind of difficult, because again you're trying to do this stuff which involves, you need the audience involvement there, and if people are just kind of there to drink and have a good time, this is maybe not necessarily the easiest thing to try and do in that environment. So
what is the best? What's your favorite place to play here? I think I know, but
like downtown.
Yeah, in this let's say in State College. I know that there's some other places like.
I mean,
Zeno's 8 o'clock tonight.
Oh right.
8 o'clock tonight at Zeno's. I'm just
nice plug.
Just saying, there's a band there.
Yeah, Zeno's has always been, because the thing is, through the years, every bar has sort of had its like moment of being the home of the singer-songwriter. So it's changed over time. But Zeno's seems to have that's always been.
I think,
like,
Dave
thing.
Staub is the manager of Zeno's, and I think that because he's been the manager since '91 or something like that, he's maintained kind of a pretty steady level.
Whereas other bars, it used to be like, you know, this is an original music only place, and now people would
like the first was
used to be
very different in the
music
past.
only place, which now, you know, that's not the case. So every bar sort of has found its thing, and that's what I was going to say. It's kind of like chicken and the egg, I think, because it makes money. So people, as in bar owners, want to take less risk of bringing in other music or having other music. And it also, it limits people's opportunities to see that kind of stuff and hear that kind of stuff. So yeah, we've definitely played college towns of equal size that have a lot more places to go to listen to music, and students are more open to, oh, there's a new band, let's go check them out. I don't feel like people take those kinds of risks here.
And I guess the bar in Boalsburg is pretty good too, right?
That could be a pretty good spot. Yeah, that could be a pretty good spot. And then of course, like Elk Creek. Out in Milheim is fantastic. You know, for that. I love that Zeno's is still referred to as that hippie bar. I hear that all the time.
Really?
And I'm like, are there even still hippies anymore?
No.
Like, what is that? It's that
no
hippie
hippies.
Bar. You know?
No. Cosmic Ray, he's the last one.
And Webster's is really good about hosting.
Yeah,
virtual.
Webster's, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to play another?
Sure.
Not sure what.
Oh. Feedback?
Yeah, but I don't know who it is.
Yeah, and I don't have control over it.
Well, I woke up this morning, just me and my mountain. You had already gone off to start your day. Sangre del Toro and soft music drifting through the screen door. And I sat there, half sleeping, just me and my mountain. You had already gone off to start your day. Ash in the coffee can and empty bottles blown away. And as the fog burned off, the sun hits my face. Well, I know this must be the place. Yeah, this must be the place.
Right on. Can you elaborate on that at all?
Sure. Booze references abound
Yes.
in that song. After I said I don't do that, I'm realizing just how much I do. Not so long ago, I was going through some times, and I had a band that was... Sometimes.
Wow, that is a...
I had a band that was on the verge of doing amazing things, and it sort of all fell apart one day. And it hurts extra bad when you're this close to winning and you wind up losing. So I went through a few years of just being lost. And I met my wife in that time, and we moved into a house out in Spring Mills, and I sort of got my feet back under me again. And that's kind of what this song is about. It's more or less about, we threw a rager one Saturday night and just had a great time. And I woke up the next morning and sat on my porch, and got a beautiful view off of my front porch, and I wrote that song. So that's essentially what it's about.
Was that, kind of near the moment you were realizing that you were back on your feet again?
More or less, yeah. And it kind of became the centerpiece of that whole record, really, and sort of the central theme behind that entire album that came out at that time. So, yeah.
Well, something I thought about while you were singing, not that it didn't have anything to do with the lyrics, but is there anything either one of you or both of you could elaborate on in regards to the role alcohol has played in music with some of your friends? I know you've said a little bit about this, but, for the most part, yeah, you went sober. Your drinking's under control, but I'm just saying, like, you used to, well.
It's under control.
Yeah, it's totally fine. But there have been, I know there's a few stories out there of people we know, but we don't need to say names or anything, but I'm just, things that you've seen, like how it can go, how it can go south so quickly.
I think it's kind of funny because now, I've been in town for 20 years, and we're starting to become the senior class now, which is really weird because I remember, guys like Andy Tollins and that when I first started playing, they were the old guys, and now we're the old crew, right? And I think that for the most part, most of the people, our friends and that we know, we're all on this end of it now. And some people have come out healthier than others, but, we've definitely, between the two of us, know lots of folks who have really struggled, people who've almost died, and are doing well now, but, we've all gone through it to some degree more than others,
And some have even gone back and forth, being
sure,
sober for several years and then completely fallen off and then derailing.
And I think one of our friends in particular who was near death, who came out on the other side in a positive way, was my motivation for knowing that I could do it, although I wasn't to the level where he was at, but knowing that he could go out and play sober. And at that time we were in a couple bands together. I was like, okay, it can be done. It's sort of like you need a mentor or just having somebody, because it's hard to, even without a musician, sometimes if you're not a musician, it's still hard to be the only one. It is, even as an adult.
To me that's one, other than it being kind of, the way you're going to get some confidence, helps you with songwriting, all the things that it can help with, it's the being around it. Especially if you tour all the time, you're around it all night, but yet you're not picking, and it's free. Yeah, free alcohol. Turn away free alcohol.
It's encouraged. Everybody wants to buy you a drink. Everybody wants to have a shot with you. And I think with this particular person we're talking about, he was that guy. He was that guy. So I think it had to be even more, I have so much respect for him because I think it had to be extra difficult because, I'm not necessarily known as that guy. He was that guy. That's the guy you want to get drunk with. That's the guy you want to get hammered with. He's the most fun when he's that way. And he's actually more fun now. But he, it had to be really tough for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, has anyone thought of any questions yet? There's quite there's several hundred of you. Really? Come on. Yeah, cool. Let me get you a mic though,
Here, it's not on, but.
so that everybody can hear it. At least we're gonna have one question. Thanks, man.
So as what is popular music has shifted more into the electronic kind of era, how have you noticed those effects in your, I guess, crowds or in the community as a whole?
I don't know that we've ever really dealt in popular music. So I think it's actually sort of been more of maybe a positive, because it feels to me now like music, live music now is become this niche thing and has become, and so the people that follow it are even more loyal. And so that's kind of a positive. It's almost like a friend of mine equated it to skateboarding, which was huge in the 70s and died in the 80s, and it became for the skateboarders and about the skateboarders, and sort of built up from the ground up again. And I kind of feel like live music and music that has guitars and drums and things like that is sort of in that realm now, where the people who love it, and that's almost helpful. So.
Question over there.
What's that?
There's a question.
Hey, Mariah, you don't have a mic. And then we'll get...
Hi. I was wondering, since sort of Dr. French mentioned that guy who said he felt like a beer salesman, when you go to perform places, do you notice that generally are the owners there, are they polite about it? Are they excited to have you there? Or they just sort of see you as a way to make more money?
I think most of the time they're excited. I mean, we work hard to get places and they work hard to get you. So I think of course you come across places that they're just like, great, okay, great, set up over there, great, here's your money, whatever. But I think most of the time the people that are booking the kind of music that we do are enthusiastic to have music there. But yeah, of course they're probably happy that they have a full bar on a Saturday night or whatever, I'm sure that doesn't hurt the enthusiasm.
So my understanding of the best songs to write is either the spur of the moment, or you see something or something happens and you write. So when you come off a 4 or 5 day binge drinking event and you're feeling down, or you're feeling like shit, but bad things have happened, is that a good time to write a sad song?
That's usually a good time for me to watch Netflix, honestly.
See, that was me. That used to be where all of my writing came from. Is either still drunk, at the end of the night, or just feeling so shitty about everything, the next day or at the end of it all. I think it's hand in hand. One, because you're so just emotionally open, because you're just feeling like that. And two, it's just a lazy time to sit around with your guitar. But going back to Jason Isbell, the musician that we were speaking about earlier, who became sober and way more successful, he did an interview not long ago where he said that he was worried he would lose his creativity in his sobriety, and then he realized, this is my job, and I'm just going to write music. If you wait around for inspiration, you could not write a song in years.
It's a craft. It's work. You might get the inspiration in a moment like that, but chances are what you're doing is not going to be that great.
Yeah.
And you need to wake up the next day and put 3-4 hours a day into honing that thing. And the more you do it every day, the easier it becomes. So for a guy like Jason Isbell, he had the raw talent, and he may have been expending that raw talent while he was drunk. And now he's sober and he's focused, and so it becomes more of a craft and more of a just I'm going to work, and this is what I do.
I will say, in my phone, I still have them. I got years worth of drunk me at 4 in the morning, trying to sing a melody, or some of them I've gone back and listened to and are like, oh yeah, that's cool, and I sit with that and play with it. But yeah, so those in the moment things do happen, but Chris said, if you think of it as your job and every day you sit down and write, you don't have to write a song every day, but just write, play. You know, you learn to be creative without having to be drunk.
So I think it's John Hyatt. I'm pretty certain, the musician John Hyatt, that I read in an interview years ago, that he approaches it, and he's a prolific songwriter. He has, I don't know, more than 20 albums, probably 25 albums. But he approaches it just like a job. That it's like, it's almost like he's at his junk, right? But it's like it's like a real job, like a desk job that you would think that you would do. So I think that people do it, you know, very differently, but those that have been in it for a very long time, it starts to become more of this, and maybe it started off as this kind of like, you realize that you can write songs because you're hungover or you're having a good time and you write, but then if you want to keep up, it's going to have to be, you know, put your grown-up pants on and like.
There's still some times like for the film song that we wrote that I'm just like, oh, I just need to like drink so I can not think so much, you know. Sometimes it's just like you need to not think, if that makes sense, to get it out. So I do have those moments sometimes where I'm just. But again, that's just like my personal.
Yeah, I don't think you can't ignore the inspiration when it comes. And so, like, I think all of us have learned that lesson where you get a great idea. If you get a great idea, go work it out because it'll be gone. But it is also a matter of, like John Hyatt, and I try to do that. I'm trying to get more and more into the habit of doing that. Of just, well, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have a cup of coffee and I'm going to write, even if I don't have any ideas. And that's really difficult because it's just sort of staring at a piece of paper, you know. So, but I think both things are true.
Are there any musicians? I mean, how many of you are musicians? Consider yourself one, two, quite a few of you. Yeah. I don't know if you have any questions, but you guys want to do at least maybe one more?
Yeah.
If not, you know.
Let's do the Shingletown song.
Oh.
Love that song.
Yeah. Where do I do that? There.
Living in the shade of the mountain where the trees grow tall. Sun don't shine in the winter, the spring, the summer, or the fall. Funny thing is it doesn't bother me at all. Living in the shade of the mountain where the trees grow tall. Can't remember what a sunrise has to show. Last time I saw the sun setting was so long ago. Every now and then I get a glimpse of the stars as I hide below. Living in the shade of a mountain on a dead end road. Now if I'm ever cheerful, nothing's gonna get to me anyway. When I'm tearful, I'm the one begging the darkness to stay. And with the trees all around, it's never even quiet when I hold my breath and I don't make a sound. My hands are never empty with the gifts that are given, growing in the ground. Living in the shade of a mountain far away from town. Now if I'm never cheerful, nothing's gonna get to me anyway. And when I'm tearful, I'm the one begging the darkness to stay. Living in the shade of a mountain where the trees grow tall. The sun don't shine in the winter, the spring, the summer, or the fall. Funny thing is it doesn't bother me at all. Living in the shade of a mountain where the trees grow tall.
to elaborate on there?
On that song?
Yeah.
That was just a song that just came. I was just joking around about how I live in the darkness all the time.
How long ago did you write that?
Well, I started writing it like a couple years ago. I used to live in Shingletown. I don't know if any of you go hiking there. I used to live there, like, there's no sun. We would, like, bundle up, and then you'd get out to town, and it'd be, like, 70 degrees. Like, oh, shit. And then recently I moved even deeper into the woods, so I finished the song, and I just, like, was singing it, being silly, but I shared it with Chris one day, and he's like, no, that's, like, a real song. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's a little ditty.
I know, I like it a lot. Any other questions? I'm going to have them do one more song, but and then there's going to be a clicker question, so go ahead and get them out. But after their song, after it's all over. Any other questions? I don't see any hands.
Can you do Chaos and Stardust?
No.
Yeah.
Did you bring your clickers?
What's that?
What's that? Done.
All right, we'll see everybody at Zeno's tonight. I'm not playing, but he is.
8 o'clock, y'all. 8
Yeah,
o'clock.
listen, thanks a lot for you guys. Thanks for coming so much.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. At the end of the road, hope we meet our God. Even if that God is just some made-up God. 'Cause the truth is we don't know where it is we all go. When the sun sets on your soul, have mercy on me. I gotta believe in the here and now. It's all chaos and stardust, and the webs that we weave, and we try to tear them down. It don't matter anyhow. In the morning light of October sky, the garden's plowed under, and the leaves fall and die. Cold wind blown on my shoulder, and the face in the mirror getting older. It's the price you pay for living. Have mercy on me. I gotta believe it's one and done. It's all chaos and stardust. It's best to concede and just love with all your might. Hold your baby tight.
Okay. Tonight, 8 p.m., Zeno's, Chris Ratty and the New Rebels. Every Saturday, Zeno's, Pure Cane Sugar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. Thanks again. So now we have to do a daily shot. You have nothing to do with this, but, you know, to ask them a question, so we have to make sure they were paying attention.
Okay.
Thanks.
I have to ask a question. What do I have to do?